All right, welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us here on Morning Live. The Department of Justice and Constitutional Development as well as the Law Society South Africa has initiated a National Wills Initiative which is aimed at encouraging people to draw up a will. During the Wills Week, members of the public were encouraged to visit the offices of the participating attorneys across the country for their assistance in drawing up a will. We talk about the importance of having a will with the Deputy Master of the South Gauteng High Court here in Johannesburg, Penelope Roberts. Penelope, good morning and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
And you look lovely this morning.
Thank you so much.
You look lovely as we celebrate Heritage
Heritage
Month,
Month, yes.
Yeah. But now, quite an important topic we're discussing here this morning.
It is, yes.
Drawing up a will and owning one. It's not something that people do or on a regular basis.
Yes.
But tell us, was there perhaps a loophole or loopholes that the department had realized when they came up with this initiative?
Yes, definitely. We see that, most people, they don't actually, when you talk about wills and death, death is certain, obviously. Yeah. And, when you make up a will, it's very important because you can actually choose who your beneficiaries, those are the people that would inherit from your estate, and also you can choose who the executor, that would be the person administering your estate, will be. It's still a challenge, but then we're trying to reach out to members of the public in order to make sure that they have wills in place, because if they don't have wills, then the law of Interstate Succession Act kicks in, which will determine, who will then inherit from their respective deceased estates.
And you're saying that death is certain, but it is a reality that none of us want to face. Exactly. We don't even want to touch that topic.
Yes.
But having a will is an important aspect. But for the purpose of someone who doesn't really know what a will entails, talk to us, what is the will?
Okay, a will, it's also known as a testament. It's a document, as I've already explained, whereby a person who is called a testator or a testatrix basically makes out a written document to say that when they die, their assets will go to specific individuals who we call heirs in the estate, and they will be the ones inheriting from their estate. And also, they also nominate an executor that will administer the estate. Basically, the executor's duty when they are administering the estate is that they take control of the assets of the deceased. They have to pay the creditors, and whatever remains must then be distributed accordingly in terms of the law.
All right. But what are the requirements for a valid will?
Okay. The requirements are that a person over the age of 16, provided that they have the mental capacity and then, they can appreciate their actions, can make out a will. 2 or more persons who are married, for example, spouses, can also make a joint will, deciding how their assets are going to be distributed. And then I must also mention that if spouses are married in community of property, they must be sure that if they make out a separate will, the separate will only cover the half of the estate that they own.
All right. Talking about being married in community of property,
yes.
We do know automatically when we're married in community of property, what is mine is yours and what is yours is mine.
Yes.
So must I still own a will in such case as well?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, that there is a choice, as we alluded before, to say that, it's not easy to talk about death and wills. Yes. Yeah. So basically, if spouses are able to do it, then they can make out a joint will. And then, however, because it's freedom of testation, any spouse can also make out a separate will, in respect of their half share of their joint estate.
But what is the state of affairs in South Africa? Are people really making up their wills?
They are, because you must understand that even the banks also assist members of the public in drawing up wills. We've got attorneys, trust companies, board of executors. Those are the professionals that assist with that, because if you make out your own will without any legal advice, might be technical issues which might lead to your will not being valid at the end of the day, whereby we as the Master of the High Court will reject it, and then you'll have to approach the High Court then for an order, declaring that we as the Master of the High Court must accept that will as the last testament of the deceased.
But are the young people really coming on board? Like, this thing, I mean, obviously, I don't even want to think about death.
Yes.
I'm not going to get involved. Are they really coming on board?
They are. But then you must understand that the challenge is still bonghono out there, and you know what I mean. But now, because they see what's happening out there, so they also know that, it's important to make out wills.
Now, talk to us about the common problems or challenges that people come across, especially if one is no more and the person is without a will.
It's a lot, Palesa. It's a lot, because you'd find out that spouses are married, right? But their marriage was never dissolved in terms of a decree of divorce, meaning they got separated, and then because the marriage was never dissolved in terms of the decree of divorce, that spouse also has a right to inherit from the estate. So you'd find family members chasing that particular spouse out of the home to say that you don't have a right to inherit, but technically they do have a right to inherit from the deceased estate. Yes. And the other challenges that we have is people fighting over assets, siblings especially. Yes, and I must also mention the fact that cohabitation, unfortunately, if you are cohabitating with a person and both of you didn't make out a will in respect of how you're going to deal with your respective estates, then unfortunately in terms of the law you won't have any right to inherit. Yes.
Sure. Now, must I amend my will after the divorce?
Yes, the Wills Act provides that they give you you are given 3 months actually to amend your will after your divorce, because if you don't amend your will after the divorce, after 3 months, then it would be deemed if you had made out your will in favor of your ex-spouse. Your ex-spouse, unfortunately, will inherit from the estate. Yes, so it's very important.
But then, is there perhaps a specific period that one should visit their attendees, maybe to go and check if their will is still valid? After how long? After how many months?
No, if a person has already divorced, it's imperative that they do it immediately, because you are only given 3 months to do that. Divorce can be traumatic and all that, but then people must also understand that, circumstances change. So wills can also be amended, taking into account the circumstances of a particular person. Yes.
But how regular should I visit my attorney to go check if things are still in good standing?
Yes. Actually, when, as I said, when circumstances changes, maybe you were single when you made out the will, now you are getting married,
so
or you didn't have children. Yes.
Oh, all right. No, that's where you're going to leave it, Penelope. But thank you so much for talking to us about this crucial, important issue on Morning Live.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. There you have it. That's Penelope Roberts. She is the Deputy Master of the South Gauteng High Court here in Johannesburg, talking to us about the importance of owning a will.